Hail and well met! Welcome to the Westgate Irregulars, Team Rashomon, which may now need to be called Team Outer Planes. I'm your DM, Erin M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga, the forthcoming Empire of Exiles. And I'm here to mess these guys up. I'm going to tell you about our sponsor real quick. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a strategy game that combines iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, which includes Farida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels saga. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Epic, Xbox One, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. Today is the release of the new Witchlight adventure. So if you want to get in on that and figure out how to stop that, we had this conversation about, is it Skabatha Nightshade or Skabatha Nightshade? Figure out how it's pronounced. I'm very excited to hear what you think because I wrote that one and there's some silliness. If you're here from Idle Champions, there is a chest code at the bottom of the screen, which you can type in and get an Electrum Chest of your very own, or you can type ! We love codename and get it whispered to you so you can cut and paste for your ease. Hopefully you will stick around and listen to our cool story. And again, if you still don't know what I'm talking about, you should check them out at idlechampions.com.
Hey, I'm Rhiannon Held. I write urban fantasy as Rhiannon Held and space opera as RZ Held. I have two other sponsors to tell you about. Both make dice, and they're awesome in different ways. In a realm where most warriors use plastic light weapons, Norse Foundry specializes in metal dice. When you roll them, it feels like you are skillfully smashing the rigid armor of the monster horde. Norse Foundry offers other cool gaming accessories as well, and you can find their store and more about them at norsefoundry.com. Phoenix Dice is named for the creature that rises from the ashes because they use all recycled materials for the dice. They're always designing and testing multiple types of recycled materials for your enjoyment, raising dice from the ashes and onwards to epic adventures. You can find their dice and accessories at phoenixdice.com.
Hello, I'm Yang Wang, and I'm playing Stongback Guk, the barrel-chested, barrel-wearing, very hairy heir to the Murder Bear tribe. And once again, we are still supporting two charities on our stream. The first one is the International Rescue Committee. We are still raising funds to help the poor refugees that are being affected by the war between Ukraine and Russia. As of this date, there are about 8 million refugees who are in need of supplies, medical attention, shelter, food, etc. So if you want to help out there, I believe it's !charity. Yeah, you type in !charity into the chat and a link will pop out. The other thing that we are supporting is the right to choice. So you can donate to the National Network of Abortion Funds by typing in !donate.
Hi, I'm Stephen Merlino. I play Sturge, the arcane trickster and diviner. Tonight we have a couple, as Yang Yang was saying, a couple giveaways. First of all, Phoenix Dice has their very generous and weekly, I guess it's bi-weekly, dice giveaway of a dice and tray set. Type in !ticket into chat for that to join for a chance for that. Also, Phoenix is hosting a special 3-year anniversary event on their Facebook and Twitter pages, so you should check that out and see what that's all about. For a second giveaway, we have hardback copies of 2 books, the first 2 books in a series. It's outer space spy thrillers. One is called Waypoint Kangaroo, and the other is Kangaroo 2, both written by Curtis Chen. And let me tell you about what this is. Who is Kangaroo? Well, Kangaroo is not your typical space-age spy. No, he has gadgets, he has training, yes, but what sets him apart is the pocket. It's a portal that opens into an empty, seemingly infinite parallel universe that only he can access. Hence, Kangaroo. He's got a pocket. The story begins after an unfortunate incident in which he bungled an important mission, and the agency sends him away on a mandatory vacation, an interplanetary cruise to Mars, which doesn't sound bad at all. I mean, if I bungled something, I hope they'll send me on a cruise. While he tries to make the most of his exile, 2 passengers are found dead. So much for his vacation. Kangaroo has to risk blowing his cover. Turns out he isn't the only spy on the ship. Oh, spy counter spy, spy versus spy. And he's just starting to unravel a massive conspiracy which threatens the entire solar system. Kangaroo has to stop a disaster which could shatter the delicate peace that existed between Earth and Mars ever since the brutal Martian Independence War. And a new interplanetary conflict could result with devastating results for both sides, and millions of lives are at stake. What are you waiting for? Sign up for this. Exclamation point, enter. Okay, but that's only the first book. Second book, set in the same world.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more. On the way home from his latest mission, Secret Agent Kangaroo's spacecraft is wrecked by a rogue mining robot. Hate it when that happens. The agency tracks the bot back to the moon, where a retired asteroid miner, codenamed Clementine, might have information about who's behind the sabotage. Oh, my darling. But old secrets are buried on the moon, and digging up the past will make Kangaroo's future very complicated. 2 books, both hardbacks, exclamation point, enter. And if you go on to Discord into polls and giveaways, you have a second shot at it. So it's a total of 4 books, right? 2 people are going to win a pair of books, either on Discord or here on the stream. So give it a shot. And I'd love to hear what you think about them too. So after you win and read, let us know on Discord. And that's
I
it
love
for
how
me.
much how you hype up the books that we give away. I'm
You know?
looking forward to when I have a book to the next time I have a book to give away,
Yeah.
because I will be asking you to do the hype. Okay.
Can't get. Hey, I like your background, Aaron. That is right on.
Thank you. I
love
did
it.
borrow this from Champions of Lore, but it seemed thematically appropriate.
Mhm.
Okay. So is everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay. So just a reminder, you are standing in a demiplane that looks somewhat like an outdated Westgate parlor, with a teenaged version of Mirabelle that you met previously in the split timeline that we call Darkest Westgate, and Glasya, the Lord of the Sixth, the Archduchess of the Nine Hells. And you guys have agreed to perform a task for Glasya to take an object into the abyss and deposit it in the Argent Palace of Graz'zt. She's brought you in here to give you the key to getting into the abyss, which seems to be Mirabelle.
The key. I love a trickster. This woman is a trickster. She is playing a prank on the demons. I like this very much. I can get behind this. What is it, by the way? Do we know what we're depositing?
The Hellwasp will be back with it in just a moment.
No.
Let's just make sure we go over a couple of things. I'll also have some supplies for you. And
Is
what?
this Glasya speaking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's just how I talk when I'm
No, I thought it was Mirabelle. I thought maybe it was Mirabelle. And I'm like,
Mirabelle. Mirabelle is sitting on the couch, gripping the edges of the floral upholstery, like she might fly off of it if she lets go. She is definitely very uncomfortable where she is.
Does it look like she has been forced into this position? Like,
She doesn't look like she doesn't have any injuries on her or anything. She is sort of giving you the kind of eyes, but she's not great at it.
okay, okay.
If you wanted to make an insight check, you might be able to glean something, but again, she's sort of just like
19?
You think that she's like way over her head for sure.
Okay.
But you don't. And she's like, you're gonna fix this, right? But also, she. So it's about now that the Hellwasps reappear, and they sort of just bleed through the walls, reminding you this is not reality. And again, these are like dog-sized wasps with like big curving claws, and in their claws they're bearing, two of them are carrying a case, which is probably it's probably the size of your one of the sort of console tables in Briar House. It's sort of elongated, it's rather large, one person can carry it, but this case is so black, it seems like it's just sucking the light out of the room. When you look at it, your eyes don't think you want to turn away. That is too dark to be. The Hell Wasp set it down in front of Glasya, and she kind of gives a little clap. The next Hell Wasp comes up to her, buzzing, brings a sack of some sort of shimmery fabric that actually has the weight of leather. You don't know what kind of skin that is, and you maybe don't want to ask.
Yeah, don't want to know.
Fairy.
Quite a few fairies, actually.
No.
So, here's what you need to do. You take this, she points down at the case, into the Argent Palace, as deep as you can, preferably into Graz'zt's private chambers. The farther in it is, the better this will work. Do not open the case until you are within the Argent Palace, and again, as close to the center as you can be. If you open it early, there might be trouble. Now, it is tricky to get in, so I've got a couple of things for you. She reaches into the bag. She hands each of you 2 bottles, 2 potions, and then a single seed that looks much like a melon seed, like a cantaloupe or a honeydew. And she's like, hold on to that for just a minute. She goes over to Mirabelle. She gives her a different bottle, and then she pulls out a knife. And this knife looks as though it's been forged out of crystal. It gleams and shimmers in a sort of iridescent way, but there's something oily about it. And again, your eyes do not want to settle on this. Here's how it will work. This is a portal knife. You, sweetheart, she says to Mirabelle, can use it to cut through the prime material into the abyss. All the planes touch each other in ineffable kind of ways, and mostly it's too difficult to get through. But this precious little item, this will make an entry for you. However, it will use it up, so you will need to find a way back out once you've finished the job.
Oh.
Fortunately, while our intelligence about the Argent Palace is fractured, let's say, we do know that he has a connection to the plane of infinite portals. So if you can't find another way, you can always find that door and get out that way. Mirabelle has to wield the portal knife. Any of you doing it, it won't work. You'll cut your way into some crappy little demi-plane, and all of this will be for nothing because you'll use it up anyway.
Would it work in her hand if I had her hand and the knife were in her hand? Would it work?
Sturge!
Just in case, you never know what's going to happen. What if there's a disaster? What if
you
she's unconscious?
I won't let anything happen to her.
I'm. This is important to know, isn't it?
Once again, this is the entrance. So when we are finished here, I'll deposit you back on your plane, preferably where I picked you up, and you will then cut the path into the abyss. If you try to do that here, you might destroy reality. Or you'll just get demon muck on my carpet, and I don't want that.
And it doesn't matter. We can't cut reality with the knife and return to the prime material.
No, the knife will be destroyed.
Right.
If you find another portal knife in the abyss, I'd rather you brought it straight back to me because these things are not cheap. But that could be a way out.
Right, okay, sorry.
So.
And the seed?
The seed.
She's getting there.
I will get there.
I'm sorry.
Artemisia, whose side are you on?
Very, very enthusiastic. I'm sorry.
Your enthusiasm is very useful.
I've never been.
You cut your way into the abyss. Now, the seeds are actually very important. Let's be honest, none of you are dressed for Azagrat. Artemisia, you in particular, would just be devoured alive. However, demons have true sight, a lot of them. So your illusion magic sturge is going to fail immediately. These are little treats. Go ahead, pop them in your mouth before you go into the abyss, crunch down, and it will create an appropriate outfit for you. My gift.
Are you saying invisibility spells don't work in the abyss?
They'll work, but the demons, at least the ones you really ought to worry about, will be able to see right through them. Which is why I'm also giving you these potions. The one in your right hand, and she points to the one that has a stopper that's it's actually made of stone. That is a potion of stone meld. So drink that and you will be able to bleed into the walls of the Argent Palace if you need to. Our intelligence also suggests that lots of the Argent Palace is mirrored. Those won't work. You'll have to go in the floor at that point. And remember, you have only one, so use it carefully.
Question.
Yes?
I'm trying to be really angry as Stong, but I really love this thing that I'm supposed to eat. How long do these items last?
Well, the stone meld will last as long as the spell. I'll have to send someone to look it up. The seed will last until it's destroyed. So do be careful, because if you take a fireball to the chest, it will burn up the plant, and it won't work.
Could we take any sort of blow at all?
Oh yes, they're quite sturdy, but fire damage is particularly bad.
But I could, for example, say, hug a demon, and it would be okay.
If you have to.
Only if I must.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The stone stopper potion.
Yes.
That's the stone meld. The other potion.
Oh, that's a deadly poison. If you're going to be captured, you should kill yourselves. It's a kindness.
Oh, thank you. And the seed, I'm sorry, I was so excited to hear about the seed, but I have no idea what the seed does.
It makes you look like you fit in
That's
the
it.
abyss.
Crunch it in
Yes.
your mouth. It's got it. I'm so disappointed about the invisibility. Although the minions, right, the creepy crawly ones, the ones that scrub the floors, it'll work on them.
Oh yes, a lot of them are very stupid.
Right. Okay. And the seeds that make us look like we fit in. Are we talking about fit in? I'm going to look like I don't know. What are they called? Those the lowest of the low there, the lemures or the
Nemanes.
manes. Am I going to look like a mane? Can I walk
No.
around like a mane going, oh, sorry,
No.
I'm
See-
just a mane?
Graz'zt has an open lair, we'll say, presuming that you are the sort of person he wants to be around. People travel to Azagrat. Traders arrive in Azagrat. Cultists, his unbelievably numerous children, pass through the lair. So there are a lot of people who have business in Azagrat and even in the city of Zalatar. That's where you're headed. So you really just need to look like you aren't a bunch of country bumpkins or excessively posh people. You need to look dangerous.
Okay, dangerous is good. Right. I can do that.
Question.
Yes.
This black box.
Mhm.
Must we conceal it? Will it be recognized?
No one should be able to tell what it is. It has spells on it that prevent that.
Okay.
But if you open it, the spell is no longer in place, and then you're going to have a situation.
But you do, the mission is to penetrate as far as we can and then open.
Yes.
What should we know about the opening? What happened? Should we duck? Should we run?
I would get out of there. In fact,
Okay.
ideally, you don't use that pass through the stone spell until you've done that and you use that for your escape. But you're all very resourceful. I'm sure you have plenty of ideas.
Can spells be used upon the case to float it or move it or?
Or open it.
Remember, we don't want to open it.
Well, when it's time to open it,
When
I
it's
know.
time to open it. I see. Yes, that is perfectly acceptable.
Artemisia. That'll be your job.
I figured.
Now, let's see. Oh, that's right. Mirabelle, you have a special potion. This one is what my own devising. See, if you use something like an arcane eye, it's going to be very obvious. He's prepared for that. So I like to call this a potion of endless vision. And actually, I'll give you 2. Then you can have one and you can take a friend if you like. The Argent Palace is full of mirrors, like I said. So to scout ahead, you can drink this. You will project yourself into the mirror and be able to see where you're going. And the rest of you, her eyes will turn into mirrors and you'll be able to see what she sees.
Oh my.
I think it has a certain panache. Fiona said it's overcomplicated, but what does she know?
No, I would say that's fairly stylish.
Thank you. I know I like it.
Well, if that's all we need to know, we should
Hmm.
get going. The
Yes.
sooner we do this, the sooner we can get back and work on the second part.
There is one thing that I do want to make absolutely clear because it's been a problem in the past. This agreement comes on standard infernal boilerplate, so just so you know, if you don't actually do what you've agreed to do, I get your souls.
If only Cecilia were here as our agent.
We must deal with the path ahead of us.
That's so funny that you should tell us about that part now.
It's generally we find most people understand that going in, but there have been a few times where someone's tried to invoke a disputation clause and it gets messy.
So what exactly? So are the terms of the contract thus? Our job is to go to the abyss,
Mhm.
enter the palace,
Yes.
and
The Argent Palace.
the Argent Palace, and open the box.
Yes.
We'll
will
go as
need
deep
to
as we
be-
can.
Don't
You
add
will-
things
my
to the
bad.
No.
contract.
That's why I need an engine.
Surge. You need to be as deep as you can be in the palace.
Okay, as deep as we can be. If something obstructs us, that's as deep as we can be. We open it there.
This is fair. But
Okay?
if I find out you've dumped it in the sewers or something and
Mm.
called it done,
Mhm.
we're going to spend a long eternity together.
Or sold it to another devil who we meet
Mhm.
on the
Dirty.
way.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very smart.
No, it'd be terrible, stupid. I'm just clarifying the contract.
Well, I think you've got everything you need.
Let's
Thank you.
hope.
This is going to be exciting.
Yes. Very exciting.
I
So
can't wait to see what's in the box.
Glasya rakes her nails through the air and a pair of portals split open, one behind her or one ahead. The one behind her, you see past her into a vast plain that twitches as you look across it. And at the far distance, there is a gargantuan skull with its teeth, the arch of its pointed teeth, hollow and deep. There is a passage through it into a gruesome palace. And then she points across, and you see Rashomon on the other side. We all have to go home. Stong, can I speak to you for one moment before you go?
All right, I'll catch up to you guys.
Maribel kind of looks at the both of you and then stands, and she comes and stands real close to Artemisia.
Artemisia's gonna if Mirabelle will let her sort of take her hand over her elbow and the sort of we are young women at a ball together kind of way.
Yeah. She takes it. She's sort of like looking around as you pass through. Sturge, are you kicking around or are you going to go through the portal too?
Oh, I guess I'm going through.
Okay.
I was just consulting my spell book to look at the
Totally
detail.
fair.
Yes.
So there's one other little thing that I just want to be perfectly clear on. This is a practice run. What I have planned is much, much bigger. And I'm grateful for the chance to do it. I like to make sure things work.
So you're
I like
implying
it, yes.
you're implying that after we do this, regardless of what happens, you're going to make another attempt at this. And
Well,
probably with my Mirabelle.
that's the goal. Although I did promise no manipulating.
Whoa.
But fundamentally, I only need one daughter. And this one's already... She's got a few flaws. She doesn't like authority figures.
Hey! You...
I'm not telling you to get rid of her. I'm saying if she dies, she dies. I'm not going to be upset. And more importantly, you cannot let her fall into Graz'zt's hands. You ruin all of my plans if that goes through. And I will be very, very angry. So do what you have to do if you need to do it.
Stong looks between Glasya and the direction that teenage Mirabelle walked away to, and he says, what does she know of her part in this?
Well, you should ask her about her own little deal. I'm
No.
sure she's...
I think I've finally found someone that I don't like very much.
Mhm.
I do love hearing you think I'm exceptional, Stong.
Is there
Remind
anything else?
Sturge not to mess around with those illusions. I don't want him embarrassing me.
Will do.
She turns, walks through the portal to the Skull Palace, which seals shut behind her. Again, that whiff of rotting flowers. And you are left with the portal to Rashomon. In a room that looks like a kind of shabby Westgate salon.
I think the first thing that Stong does is he goes over to teenage Mirabelle and he gives her a great big hug, like an orc hug.
Oh, okay. So you pass through that again. It's that squeezing darkness out back again into the dark and spooky Eric forest, which I'm gonna change my background for ambiance.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So this is your version of reality. Is this Westgate?
No,
Or
No.
we're way out in the country.
I don't think you can get that far. Should we just do this or what? Do we?
Yeah, I'm
Well,
curious.
we never had time to rest, did we? Because we were talking to people, and then Glasya wanted to talk to
You
us. So
guys had a
did we?
long rest.
Okay. we
Yeah.
did. Okay. I lost track.
Yeah,
Mirabelle.
rested.
Gonna need
Yeah.
those spells.
Yeah.
Mirabelle, you obviously, no one does any business with the Lady Glasya without making a deal of some kind. What kind of deal? Can you mind sharing with us what your deal with her is?
Well, I'm sure it's when you guys left, the Golden Raven's really, really mad, and can't find the Mother of Rats and everything. The witches are roaming. It's pretty bad. So I had a book that I found, and I thought, we gotta get out of here. So I asked her to take us all out of there. But I couldn't. What she wanted, I couldn't do that. So she said if I helped her with this, she would get me and Lithaka out. So that's the promise. I do that.
Out to where? Where will she take you?
I mean, we always talked about exploring the plains and not the 9 hells, hopefully. But that's all I could think of. Here wouldn't be bad unless, it gets destroyed.
It can be nice. There are places. Good. Well, I hope we succeed for your sake.
Me
Mirabelle,
too.
It's
Yeah.
going to be okay.
I'm going to be honest with you. Glasya told me that it might be okay if we left you behind on this mission. But I want to promise you right now that I would never do that.
I mean, you guys you did this. You're also heroic. You're doing this to stop her, right?
We are.
The Golden Raven. And that's more important than anybody.
No,
I mean,
it's
if
not.
But like, who am I? I'm just some kid I guess I'm not really a kid anymore, but
Look,
it wouldn't be that bad if you had to. I understand. It's okay.
it would be that bad to me. The last time we saw each other, I told you that you weren't my Mirabelle and I wasn't your Stong.
Right.
And that's still true. But that doesn't mean I don't care about you.
Okay, nobody needs to be left behind. I mean, so it's a wrinkle with the Golden Raven, but the Golden Raven isn't always there. And if I'm there, I think we could hide from her. So, no need for lethal poisons, no need for leaving anybody behind. If it comes to it, we should take our chances in the ring.
Is there some way we could... Do you know if it's safe bringing that ring, that space into the abyss? Will it function the same way? Did it function the same way on the astral plane? Do you remember?
I believe so, yes. It says Rhiannon. I don't.
I don't know if you used it on the astral plane.
I want to do a little arcana. You might need to...
Then I'm going to do a little Googling, I guess.
Google
Well, I mean, the
food,
ring
go.
is sort of what we needed it to be, so it's the DM's
Okay.
choice.
Yeah. I mean,
if you-
I am inclined to be like, it can't be that easy. But at the same time, I might make you roll for it. I think that's what would happen if you tried to use... This is... you didn't roll your Arcana check, and I'm already answering the question.
Well, I got 23.
You should just give it a shot and see what happens.
Yes.
YOLO.
What's the worst thing that could happen? I mean,
Right?
probably just a decoration change on the interior of the ring.
Well, the ring's kind of, it's messy inside right now.
Mm.
Messy.
Oh, I see.
Okay. You do have to check one quick thing. If you have more to talk amongst yourselves.
Are we in Rashomon?
Yes. You are where you went in, basically.
Yep,
You're in the
by the
Eric
Dorothy.
Forest.
Oh, right. So I guess we're walking.
I mean, we could just go right now. I don't see why we would wait.
Well, I now that I know my illusion magic is not going to be of much use, I would like to supplement my disguise kit because it can be very useful. It's not magic, so you can't see through it. If I do a good job with it, I could, make Mirabelle or one of you look like, I don't know, someone we see there, a tiefling, or etc. And
Mhm.
I
Like
would need
if
to.
these seeds fail us, if our initial disguises fail us, you would then give
Artemisia
us
is
a
actually
second
low
disguise.
key worried about what the seed is going to make her look like, especially when she's going to have all these mirrors like all around her. She's like imagining like the ugliest possible clothes.
I'm sort of now imagining like this nested doll of disguises. Like Sturgeon's gonna like draw us up to look one way, and then we'll eat the seed and look another way. And when our disguise drops, if it drops, it's like ta-da!
Yes, okay. Well, I guess we'll have to eat the seeds, and then we can tell each other what we look like. And I have some disguise materials, and perhaps I could buy them. I could probably find disguise things in this hellish city that we're going to. So it's all right. I guess
It's a demonic city, an abyssal city.
Right. That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
That's
But
okay.
it sounds like it's a city, so I could probably buy materials there.
Yeah.
Wigs, mustaches, fake horns.
Okay.
Yes.
So, if we're gonna end, Stong, you feel something vibrating
Mhm.
in your pocket.
That's right.
Pulls it
You
out.
It's that sending stone. Once you hold it, that triggers the spell, and you all hear Cecilia's voice.
Ooh.
And she says, Artemisia, Skaha is dead, sort of. She says she can come back once the Golden Raven is defeated. She wanted you to know that. If you pass Artemisia the Sending Stone, she can respond, or Stong, you could. Well, Stong, you should probably look at Artemisia and decide if you want to just reply, but whoever is holding the Sending Stone can reply. That's what I'm getting at.
I think he's gonna like hold it to his ear as if he's like listening to it. Like he doesn't quite realize that's just going into his head for a moment, and then he's gonna beckon Artemisia over, and he's gonna hand it to her to say, "This is a call for you from Cecilia. I think you might want to take this somewhere privately."
Yeah, Artemisia will take it and sort of like stare at it. And forget to go anywhere private. Just like stare at it.
This may not be rules as written, but it is how I always wrote sending, and so it may be an addition change, but all of you hear it. Because I said so. Is that your...
So she's using one of her words to say, Thank you for telling me. We have a solid lead on information about her. She's stalling out. Poor Cecilia. Long pauses. Thank you for telling me. That's basically like, it'll be some nonsense after that. That's as much as she comes up with.
That's fair. I feel like sending must be a lot of pressure. So technically your next 5 words are going to also get across,
Okay.
whatever they are. Which maybe there's 15 minutes of silence and then some cursing, or I don't know.
Well, so probably she's gonna turn to Stong, and be like, "What does kind of dead mean?" Dead. Yeah.
That
Where's
means
Cecilia?
that must mean there's still hope. That must mean it's not completely dead or.
Do we know? Did she say how Skathach died?
Skaha.
Skaha?
Is your pet
No.
name for her?
Yeah, there's not enough time in it sending. I wanted to ask. She said Staha wanted me to know. I'm glad that she was thinking about me, which is kind of selfish.
That's your mother of rats, right?
Yes, I got along with your mother of rats much better than this one. This one doesn't understand as well. I think because yours kind of saw what the consequences of what she did were, with the Golden Raven and the Bronze Devil, and I wanted to talk to her again. What if I can't talk to her again? I have so much to say. We're supposed to be focusing on the we have something to do. So, but I hearing from the Durthans about her, it made me, realize some stuff. I always thought that she liked Cecilia better because Cecilia was more like her. She's a witch, and Staha is the spear witch, but she wasn't always a witch. She came to the Durthans to learn that. So there's no reason why I can't be like her a little bit too. And I just wanted to tell her that, so she knew that I knew.
If it makes you feel any better, Artemisia, Kalith can turn her into her thrall, and then you can communicate with her via Kalith.
Mirabelle is going to go give you a very awkward hug. You get the feeling Mirabelle doesn't do a lot of hugs. She's gonna say, sometimes your parents are terrible. And that's not your fault. I don't know if that's what you need to hear, but...
Well, you have a good parent, so that's good.
No, she kind of looks over at Stong, and she goes, but I don't. I don't know what that lady told you either, but I think she's my mom, so double bad.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Mirabelle.
Yeah.
She may be your blood, but we, and then he gestures to like Sturge and Artemisia, we're your family.
You guys don't even know me.
Well, we'd like to get to know you as much as you are willing to let us.
I could do your hair. We're gonna be going, and you'll need it out of the way. So I know a lot of ways to kind of braid it back. So when you're fighting or spellcasting or whatever, that's silly.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Stong elbows Sturge.
Yes, we do know you in a way. We knew you as a child,
Yeah,
and
but that's not me.
wow, you seem like a
I
very
hope-
nice young person. You're conscientious. I can tell this already. You are not arrogant. You're not cruel. You're not bombastic. You don't appear to be a bully. These are all things we can tell. Am I right about those things?
I don't know. I hope so.
Mirabelle, no matter who you were, and no matter what choices you've made in the past, it's never too late to make new choices. You know, and then Stong like he pulls out a sword from his backpack,
Mhm.
and it is beaten up, but it still has like a faint glow to it. And he's gonna hand it to her, and he says, I was planning on giving this to my Mirabelle when she came of age,
Oh,
but I want you to have it.
I can't take that.
This is the sword that I grew up with. It's the sword that protected me on my travels. Going through the woods, surviving all the various people that I met. And I know it will protect you too. And if it doesn't, then I will. And if I can't, then they will. And he points at Artemisia and Sturge. So don't give up on yourself.
Mirabelle takes the sword from you and bursts into tears.
There. There.
I just did it. I am so scared.
I know. But it's okay now.
One of the things that makes it easier is when you stop caring about whether you live or die. If you can stop caring about that, then fear.
Artemisia is gonna
You're
touch your arm
preparing me
with her
for
6
some
strength.
kind of
You're getting
inevitable
punched in the arm.
You see, this is a good sign. You still care about life. That's why you're scared. This is good. It's natural. But it's easier when you stop caring.
I'm sort of confused, but I think that was good advice.
Uncle Sturge cares about you in his own way.
Yeah, I don't think it was good advice, but
I've
meant well.
stopped caring, and it gives me a kind of cold, dispassionate view of things. It allows me to keep my wits, and I will use those wits to help you. I like it that you care still, and I would like to protect that.
Thank you. I didn't really know you very well in the other one. You were kind of scary. So I'm glad.
I didn't
You're
meet
not.
that version of myself. It's good.
It's not the nicest. You guys are all so much nicer than I could have ever hoped.
I mean, they're there.
It's a start, Sturge. Good job.
Okay. So, are you guys ready?
After
Yeah.
you do, after we do
Let's
her hair.
do it.
Yeah. All right. So you're gonna do Mirabelle's hair. Are you gonna braid it the way Artemisia braids it, like the crown, or
She was thinking
Have a
not that
different
it would
vision.
be in Forgotten Realms of French braid, but she's thinking like French braid.
a Cormerian braid?
Yeah, there we go.
A Cormerian fishtail, it's sometimes called. As of this moment, when I made that up.
I love it.
Okay. So Mirabelle's gonna kind of secure the potions to her adventure belt, and she's gonna kind of look at that seed.
Okay, so we do this first or go through and then do it?
Seems
That's
wise
the
to do
first.
it before. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Hope it's not too ugly.
So you put the seed in your mouth and you crunch down on it.
What's it
Your
taste
mouth
like?
tastes like cockroaches smell.
It's- And like again, that sort of rotting roses kind of flavor coats the back of your tongue. And then something starts to wriggle in your mouth. And you feel these tendrils grow out through your lips and through your nostrils and slide over you. It happens so fast. They sort of crawl out and wrap around you, and for a second you can't breathe. Your mouth is full of some strange plant. But then when it stops, you look down and you look like you belong in the abyss. And I'm going to put you on the spot. What's your new abyssal outfit look like? We're definitely going for Mad Max cultist here.
Okay.
But whatever spin is appropriate for your character, please take it, even if it gets a little bananas. Who wants to go first?
Oh,
Do it. Go.
Vecna. Stranger Things Vecna. Stranger Things Vecna with a long carrot nose.
So you look kind of like your skin is like covered with scars.
Just ropey black licorice whip scars and yeah.
No
and-
clothes, just a layer of extra skin,
Yeah,
kind of.
that's right. Just I mean, Sturge is a Ken doll anyway, so just completely
Didn't add anything.
No.
Although I will say you're going into Azagrat.
No. Maybe.
I will leave it to you. There's lots of ways to take pleasure, so
Okay.
you will not foist that one on you. Mirabelle's just like, oh my god.
How do I look?
Gross.
What she said.
Look.
Ooh.
I like this. I like this. It's not
Okay.
illusion. It's actually there.
Mirabelle kind of pokes your shoulders. It's like it feels like almost like roots. Ugh. She looks over at you, Stong, and her eyes get a little wide.
Yeah, I think Stong is wearing like a dark hood over his head, and so just like the two tips of his mane, his of really dark hair poking out of it, like to the sides, out and forward, and then the rest of it is like hooded. But you notice like his eyes like glow in the dark, and so there's like a little bit of like a shine coming from the interior of the hood. But beyond that, he's just wearing like two strips of leather that like crisscross his chest and go across, like start from one shoulder and go across to the opposite hip on both sides. And you can just see his body, his skin, his scars have just been altered. They look almost like neat now, as if they've been like inscribed into like a pattern. And if you look closer, or if you have excellent eyesight, you see that it looks like lines of song with like little notes and stuff. Yeah. And he's wearing dark loose pants and leather boots.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I mean, I feel fine. It was unpleasant, but it's not the worst thing I felt.
I'm afraid to eat this, I'm not gonna lie. She looks over at Artemisia.
So
What does she see?
Artemisia is like got grime and sort of like worn off war paint in like varying like layers and bikini armor.
What kind of armor?
Bikini armor.
Yeah.
But not like
Whoa.
real armor that's like mail or something, but it's sort of like stitched together pieces of stuff to kind of make the bikini. So like some leather and then some like sharp shards of something like stitched into cloth, and then for the bodice part, and she's got kind of like a bit of a kind of wrap around her hips that's just in the back, and then she's also got kind of a little bit of kind of a cape type of thing going on. So it's a little sort of like ragged leather kind of insect wing kind of like hanging off her shoulders a little bit, but it's the cape. And then you can't even see any of her scales because it's just like sort of old layers of like kind of blue and white striped like war paint, and then grime and like other war paint, like she had applied it and then didn't wash it off. So she's pretty covered, but there's also a lot of skin.
Mirabelle's like, whoa.
Artemisia, just don't look in the mirror.
I
You don't want
wasn't-
to know.
It's really ugly. I was afraid it was going to be really ugly.
You look like a badass.
Oh, well that's not bad.
Okay. Mirabelle eats hers, and you get to watch. When you all were eating yours, you felt it more. Now you get to watch it just explode. The moment of horror in her eyes before those things crawl out of her. And what it looks like she is wearing is sort of a very tight-fitting leather top with a high collar and kind of a flared back, and leather pants with like plates of eerie, shimmering armor on them. They're very low rise, but when she notices this, she kind of buttons her coat a little lower. She kind of readjusts her sword.
Yeah, badass.
I don't feel good in this, but okay.
You
She
just
also
have-
has like big old platforms full of spikes on her boots. So
remember, we're just playing pretend.
okay, yeah, okay.
Does she have any kind? Privately, I'm a little concerned that she telegraphs her fear and timidity a bit, and I'm wondering if there's like a veil or something that I could incorporate just so that she's.
Yeah.
peeking
Do you have anything that might work?
I could create I could make a veil.
Okay.
And I just tell her that it'll help disguise her expressions so that they don't see if she's afraid.
What is a roll for that? Crafting
Good question.
something.
Could be, well, performances.
Give me
is-
performance.
It's sort of, that's like his.
I mean,
strong-
it's gonna be very good. but-
hopefully. 26.
Oh, nice.
Not only does this veil like cover her face, but you have, kind of seamed it in a way that it looks like it was always part of this outfit.
Cool.
It's an
Okay.
intimidating veil.
Cool.
It's almost like she has a mask of tulle that's split down the middle.
Nice. Okay.
Right. She pulls out the knife. It's sort of same oily shimmer in the meager light that's floating through these spooky woods. It's got some writing on it. Do any of you read Abyssal? Speak Abyssal?
Dong does.
It doesn't look like Mirabelle does too. So she reads it, and Stong, you understand this incantation, which says, "Lead me to the place of my will. Divide the
Ooh.
plains before me and create the path. Open the door to Zelatar as a grat." And she stabs the air like she's shanking a dude, and then rips down, and you see the air just vibrate and split apart, and hot air blows through it. And there is a door in front of you, like a split in a curtain. And on the other side is another world. The blade in her hand crumbles into dust as she does this. By the time it's at the bottom, it's gone. And the portal is there, shimmering, trying to seal itself back up because it does not want to exist.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Who's carrying the case?
I assume
well-
Stong was, but
Okay. Well, I was gonna say Artemisia can do the telekinesis now, or she can do it when they arrive.
how long does
But-
your telekinesis last?
So she can use sorcery points to extend it.
Mm.
So she can double it several times. So she won't use all her sorcery points, but she can take it a good long time.
Do you have
uh,
to concentrate on it?
It does need concentration.
Yeah, let's carry it if Stone can carry it.
Okay.
Yeah, save it
Maybe-
for later.
Wrap it in a blanket or something so it's not obvious.
I mean, either that or like double down and be like, "Oh, I'm important. I'm doing shit. Here's my thing."
Mm.
portal is trying desperately to
All right.
close.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, Stong hoists the
We go through.
chest.
Stung, when you pick it up, that thing is, it looks like it's gonna be really heavy, but it's actually surprisingly light.
Oh, Artemisia, this is super light. Even you could carry it, I think. But let's go. We'll test it on the other side.
All right, you step through that portal into another world. You're standing in a strange city. There are parts of it, things that you're looking at that seem like they could just be a part of Westgate that you haven't been to before. But there's something very wrong about this place. The air burns your nostrils like it's like if you've swum in the sea and you've breathed in the salt water and it burns. It's got that same kind of burn, like there's salt in the air. And as you look around, you keep getting whiffs of what is Artemisia, the cheapest perfume you have ever smelled, that you cannot pinpoint. Just, this place feels wrong to all of you. Before you is an enormous palace of many towers, gleaming white, perfect. It is the most beautiful architecture that you have ever seen. It seems endless. There are so many towers reaching up into a sky that is this dark red, like the color of like fresh meat. And you look around, look across the street. You see another building with a sign hanging on it, with words in abyssal. And Stong, this, you can read it. It says Planeswalkers Guild. But you're pretty sure that you're standing awful close to the Argent Palace, where you're meant to take this item.
Does Stong know what a Planeswalkers Guild means in this context?
You know, I think what a planeswalker is, someone who travels between planes. And correct me if I'm wrong, do you know what's your father's deal?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you don't know that. But it sounds like what's on the tin, right? People who walk the planes. Seems plausible. I think that you have enough knowledge that you feel confident in that determination that this is a guild for people who travel the planes.
So Stong is just taking in all the sensory detail that you just described, and he says, I think we need to just do this quickly and just get out of here. I don't like this place. But over there, that's a Planeswalkers Guild. You think that could be of help to us before we enter this palace?
I mean,
They may not just let us stroll in to the palace, but I'm not sure that we can walk into a Planeswalkers Guild and say, hey, so how do we get into the heavily guarded palace?
The planeswalkers may be useful when we need to return to
true.
the prime.
that's a good point.
We should see how much their services are.
Yeah. Can at least gather information.
Yes. And do we see a front gate or anything to the palace?
Not from where you're standing.
Is it fortified, or is it really more, are there many entrances?
From where you're standing, you don't see any entrances. These are
Oh.
sort of sheer white towers. There are windows high up.
Okay.
But it, again, it's very large. You can only see sort of a corner of it. If you were to walk around it, it's very possible you would find entrances
Mhm.
of all kinds.
Perhaps they give tours. We could join a tour. Once we're very deep in the tour, we just skip out. We'll have to
I'm
find.
regretting right now not preparing a tour guide for the Argent Palace. So maybe we need to take our break right now.
Surely there's a tourism kiosk somewhere.
You do see people kind of walking by. You do see demons. You see tieflings. You see people who are dressed much like you, where they're definitely trying to project a certain amount of wickedness and desire, let's say. A lot of skin showing.
Mm.
They don't look at you like you don't belong. It does feel like your outfits are working.
I think we should go into the Planeswalkers and just inquire what their services might be.
It's a good idea because we want all of us to get out of here afterward.
Stong kind of shoots a side glance at Mirabelle.
Right?
We'll do our best.
Let's go.
Okay. You go into the Planeswalkers Guild. This is, it's a building. It looks like the other buildings around, which is to say, it looks like it should be a building, but there are parts of it that don't seem like they're made out of the things buildings are made out of. So, that pillar might be a giant bone, for example. That plaster has a texture that makes you think it might start breathing. You walk in, and the room is cluttered, filled high above you with all sorts of things. You see strange skulls and piles of books. You see sort of creepy looking dolls that have multiple heads, gems glowing under glass, a collection of treasures from all kinds of places that you couldn't identify. And high up on the wall there is what looks to be a stuffed beholder, like a trophy.
Oh, man.
And behind a desk watching you is what looks like a hideously ugly old woman with horns and deep blue skin, long taloned fingers. Welcome to the Planeswalkers Guild. What is it that you want? What is it that you desire?
What services do you provide Planeswalkers here?
Passage, information. But are you guild members?
How does one join the guild?
If you have to ask, you'll never know. That doesn't mean we don't offer services, just the prices change.
Ah,
I'm Baba Kala.
I am Sturge.
Thank you for your name, Sturge. What is it that you desire here in Zelakar?
My friends and I wish to travel. Not today, perhaps, but we wish to know what the rates are for travel.
Travel from here to
One of the near planes, the prime material, perhaps.
Oh, for the prime material, the price is 1 soul.
A soul?
Yes.
Hmm.
So you just come here, you decide which of you is the payment. She smiles at Stong with like a lot of teeth, like too many teeth.
Dong waves back.
And the rest of you can use the doorway.
Surely we can purchase a soul somewhere nearby.
I think you'll find most of the souls in Azagrat are spoken for, but I see all of yours shining very brightly. She stops and looks at you for a second. Sturge kind of squints at you.
Back off, woman.
Well then, that's the price for my help getting off this plane. Maybe someone else will have a different deal.
We'll see.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No. Are some of these things for sale?
Perhaps. Depends. Some of them are spoken for. What is it you're looking for?
Something that will take me to another plane?
We prefer to go through the regular channels. You can always ask the Dark Prince for use of his portal to the plane of infinite portals. And perhaps there are some demons willing to make a different deal. Or maybe you know someone who knows plane shift, who knows how to find you. But keep in mind, divination magic doesn't work so well from the other plane to this one. Listen to me chatter. I'm just giving away all of this for free.
How undemonly.
Oh, darling. I am no demon. I am a night hag.
I'm
How are
sorry.
your dreams lately?
My dreams. Well, I would be giving something away for free, wouldn't I, if I told you that? I think we'll just have to go walk into the palace and ask if we can use the what was it you just said? The
The
infinite-
portal to the
yeah.
infinite plane of portals.
yeah, that.
I'm sure that will go very well. You're funny, mortal. Do you understand what it takes to go into the Argent Palace?
We were thinking of joining a tour, and then have I got
funny,
bad
this
information?
You go. If you are called into the Argent Palace, you never return. Graz'zt only summons those that he wishes to consume in some fashion.
But he must have visitors who come unannounced.
Well, of a certain kind.
Hmm.
If you make me a trade, perhaps I can give you some information.
Oh, don't tell me. A soul?
No,
Oh,
of
good.
course not. What's in the box?
What
She nods
box?
at the case that Stong is holding.
Hmm. I'm unaware of what's in the box, actually.
What's in this box does not concern you.
Feisty. He
Hmm.
likes that. Well, how about this then? You give me a memory.
A memory.
A memory. It's like a dream, a little
Hmm.
fragment. I'll be able to spin it to such luscious nightmares.
So, a bad memory.
Oh, I'm kind of an artist. I can turn anything into a nightmare.
Mm-mm. Hmm.
Stong rummages in his pocket and he pulls out a dirty piece of cloth. It looks black. It's got some sort of like white design etched into it. And he says,
Here's a memory for you. I'll pay the price.
What is this?
he tosses it over to her, and as she snatches it and looks at it, she opens it up, and you see like a pattern of a skull and crossbones on it. This
Is a dirty pirate flag given to me as a gift by two people that I greatly care about.
This is a story, not a memory.
You can
She's
have the
gonna-
memory of it.
All right. She reaches out. She wraps her fingers around your face. They're cold. And they don't. There's a sort of squishiness to them that Stong reminds you of dead people. Just like there's not enough resistance there. And while you kind of wrap your head around that feeling, that memory floods back. What is your dirty pirate flag memory?
This is one of the gifts that he received from one of the irregulars for our first Christmas episode. I've been carrying around ever since.
So your memory is of opening this dirty pirate flag. Who gave you the dirty pirate flag?
It's got to be.
I thought it was. Oh, maybe. I thought it was Cecilia and Sarshan, but maybe it was
Cecilia.
from
I
her.
don't know that Cecilia ever gave anybody presents, but I don't know.
Pirate flag.
Got a pirate flag
Does
from
chat
somebody.
remember? Does chat remember?
Chat, help us out. Where did
If
the dirty pirate flag come from?
Dirty pirate.
not, I have another object that I can give instead. If she rejects this memory.
She's like, this one is flimsy. Either
Well,
you care about
fine.
these people very much or you're trying to forget them. I can't tell which.
Here's another memory that I really don't want to depart with.
And then he like reaches into his bag and he pulls out a gargoyle arm and he hands it to her.
Why are you giving me junk? What is this?
This is from the tomb. The tomb that almost claimed our lives. It almost annihilated us. But we survived it.
Interesting. I was hoping for something that would make you, cry or something, but she puts her hand on your face. She rips out the memory of the tomb of horrors. That's the one, right? Where we went and found Calith, right?
Yeah.
So all this flashes back, the floor that falls away randomly, the mists that destroy you, that weird chest business. And when she takes her hand away, you actually don't remember any of that anymore. She's holding this gargoyle hand and she's like, take this, I don't need it. And you have no idea where that gargoyle hand came from.
I was using this as an opportunity to unload the junk in my inventory. Alas.
I got plenty of junk.
Thank you. So, was that sufficient payment?
Yes, that will fuel a lot of nightmares. You want to get into the Argent Palace. I won't ask your reasons. Everybody has their peccadillos. The traditional way to get into the Argent Palace is to catch the attention of the Dark Prince one way or another. I don't recommend that particularly. You all look very fragile. There is a door. They do take deliveries. It is guarded, of course. You'll have to make that decision on your own. There are windows if you can reach them, though you may find something unwelcome on the other side. And last, all of that blood has to go somewhere, so there is indeed a sewer system under the Argent Palace. You could find your way up that way. Presumably, it's a little less likely to catch Graz'zt attention, but who knows what's down in those sewers.
Artemisia, that sounds good, doesn't it? Sewers.
Mirabelle's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's better than trying to pretend to some soldiers. Baba Arkala sort of sees her because she's been hiding behind Stong. She's like, oh, there's more of you.
Dong extends an arm to protect Mirabelle, and he says, "No,
Can't have anything from this one.
Very fresh little memories. Well, We've traded our information. What do you want for the box?
The box is not for trade.
Really? Most people here are willing to make some kind of a deal.
We just made a deal. I'm just looking through my inventory now. Oh my god. What the hell?
Why don't put that onto my
Something
Instagram,
interesting
like-
in your purse?
Jar with dust bunny spirit. What the hell?
I feel like Chaos must have done something.
Okay, whatever.
This
I don't
is when you know this campaign's gone on a long time.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
it's all like, what?
Maybe
That's so
you kept
funny.
this all in Briar House.
Okay. I think we've done well here. Thank you, Bubba.
You're very welcome. Remember, one soul, then I'll let you use our door back.
Mm.
It's a
Thank you.
very reasonable deal.
If we find a soul, we may just do that. Sweet
Well.
dreams.
It's not as if you need 6. I'm just saying.
That's right.
Goodbye.
All right, out into the streets again.
Once we're out of earshot, Dong says,
Well, if we need more information, I have an idea. You think we have enough, though, to go off of?
Sounds
Oh.
like it to me.
Do I mean
We have a decision to make, but
No, we do. There's 3 options. I don't like the front door one. I like the sewer one. I like the flying to a window. But I think the sewer one is best because it gives us the option of going deep and then going up. Whereas every other option, I don't know that we could fly all the way into the center of the place without someone seeing us and picking us off. We could probably fly to an outer window and then go from there. But then we have to move through the palace into the center. Whereas, again, if we're under the palace, it might be full of horrors and things, but we're not really alerting any of the servants or anything. It's just the gremlins in the basement. And then we go up.
Yeah.
That's my
and we
that's
could
my
stone
inclination.
meld out of there if we needed to. I
Well,
mean, she was saying keep the potions for when we needed to escape, but
right. It looks the stone meld that I'm thinking of does not allow for passage through stone. It allows you to hide in stone
Oh, I see.
for up to 8 hours. I can identify these later if in fact it's something more like there's another spell. I don't have it. I'm not sure what it's called, but it allows you to pass through stone.
That might be what I'm thinking of.
Pass wall. That's called pass wall. And so if I identify this, maybe that's what we'll learn.
Passwall's a little different, but
Oh,
do you know?
the
what?
shape stone where you
This
can like.
also might be something that I made up entirely.
Oh,
But you
that's
know what?
cool.
She's an archdevil,
Hell
so
So it's a if I do an identification
Mhm.
ritual on it, we can figure out exactly what the parameters are later.
yeah,
Like how many feet of stone it allows you to pass through and how all that.
yes. Let me
Okay.
pull up a
well,
thing.
we're about
and-
time for a break, so we can
That's
take a break.
true. So
figure out
actually,
the
let's
spell
take
and
a break here, and then you guys can choose which path you want to take into the Argent Palace, and we can see what you find there.
Okay.
hey,
Okay, so 10 minutes.
yeah, see y'all in about 10.
All right. 10.
welcome back. We're in the middle of the abyss and we're plotting a reverse heist and everything is horrible. Just a reminder, we are collecting money for 2 different charities, the National Network of Abortion Providers and the International Research Fund. Is that it?
International Rescue Committee.
Rescue Committee, thank you. Some reason the last word throws me and then I get lost. To help for the conflict in Ukraine. So that's exclamation point charity and exclamation point donate for those 2 causes. We are also running several excellent giveaways. We are giving away, actually, Stephen, why don't you just tell everybody?
Yep.
Real quick.
Problem. We got 2 books. They are outer space spy thrillers. One's called Waypoint Kangaroo and the other is Kangaroo 2. They're both hardback books and you have a chance to win them here on Twitch if you type in exclamation point enter. And that will get you entered into it. And if you go to our Discord and go to giveaways and polls, you'll find another chance to enter to win that pair of books. Also, Phoenix Dice is running their giveaway for a dice set and a tray. And if you type in exclamation point ticket into chat here, you get entered for a chance to win that.
Okay, so you are standing outside the Planeswalkers Guild, discussing how you're gonna get into the Argent Palace. Baba Urkala, the night hag in the Planeswalkers Guild, has given you a couple of suggestions, and all that remains is to pick the least worst one.
I like the idea of doing a walk around the palace just to get our bearings. See
Okay.
what we can notice.
And then maybe we could do the delivery door instead of the sewers. Sewers sound real bad.
So, actually, I realize that my Pegasus is actually a fiend. And maybe they're from this plane. So maybe they know something as well.
Okay.
So maybe
do
we
you
just
wanna
do all
summon-
those.
Summon your
Yeah.
Pegasus and
Mhm.
ask it what's good.
Mhm, mhm,
Okay. So your Pegasus could be one of a number of fiends.
mhm, mhm.
So I would say you can, if you feel like you know your Pegasus pretty well, you can make an Arcana check. And I will ask you to roll percentile dice to figure out what it is. If you would rather just ask it, you can summon the Pegasus, roll the percentile dice, and we'll find out.
I'll do the first roll, like the knowledge roll first. I feel like
Okay.
Stong wouldn't do it if he. So just Arcana, you said, then
An
percentile.
Arcana check.
Okay.
Arcana check, and then
Oh.
percentile.
It's a natural 1 for a total of 5.
Okay, what was your percentile?
My percentile is rolling animation. Go! It is 13.
You're pretty sure it's a demon. You think it told you that once?
Oh, guys.
Maybe it was in a dream, but you have a really clear memory of it.
Friends, my Pegasus is a demon. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely certain.
How you've been riding a demon around?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically like a punishment for the demon, you know. So I figure it balances out in the karmic scheme of things.
You summon a demon that polymorphs itself into a Pegasus?
I mean, you don't judge. I mean, my stepdaughter's a
Yeah. Okay. I'm
beautiful
just, I'm just
tiefling
trying-
girl.
I'm just, what is
Thank
the
you.
what is the name of that spell?
Find greater steed.
Oh, interesting. Is it always the same one?
Mhm. Until it perishes or...
Huh.
Hmm.
That's very strange.
Until
Alright.
I release it.
Well, can you talk to your Pegasus?
Yep.
Right. Oh, and you think it might know some things. Well,
Try it.
Give it might be a good way to learn some things. We'd have like a guide.
Yeah.
So Stong summons his Pegasus. It takes about 10 minutes. So if there's
Okay.
anything else you guys want to do in those 10 minutes?
Yes. During that time. Well, where are we going to do that? Is there like an abyssal public park?
There are parks. Yeah, there
Maybe
are
like an
actually-
alleyway.
You're like walking through, there are plenty of alleyways, but you do see there are parks. This city feels like it's just a city. But again, there's that weird sense of wrongness. Like there's like a shell over something rotten underneath.
Okay,
Actually-
that's interesting.
Thanks for the inspiration, Scott. Appreciate it.
So as you're walking, you realize something else. You're hearing like a whispering in your ears. You can't make out what it's saying. But there's definitely, you keep turning your head. There's nobody there. Make me a charisma saving throw.
All of us?
Yes.
18.
I'm going to use that inspiration because I just got another that's 2 natural ones in a row. 13.
Okay.
Gonna do it. I'm trying. There we go. 20.
Wow.
Miji, you have no time for these whispers. You've heard worse.
Yeah.
I'll just roll one for Mirabelle too.
Lilton used to whisper in her ear.
Yeah.
Artemisia, are you still carrying the soul sapphire?
Oh, yeah.
Presumably.
Wait, what? What's a soul
Oh,
sapphire?
it's rolling over here.
What's a
I
soul
see.
sapphire? Oh, I guess
Artemisia, do you want to tell him?
that's meta.
Yeah. Nobody said it out loud.
Okay. I have recorded those rolls for later import. Okay, so you find an alleyway to summon the Pegasus. While he's summoning the Pegasus, Mirabelle comes up to you two and says, "Did I hear that night hag right?" But you three, because let's remember Sebastian is here. He's just feeling very quiet.
Hmm.
This is all a lot for him. Did I hear that night hag right? She
What?
said we didn't need 6 souls. There's
That's
5
correct.
of us.
Mhm.
Do you have a secret invisible friend or something?
Wait, I don't remember.
I thought it was just a joke,
I don't get the
but you're
joke.
right.
What she said? 6 souls? 6
She
people?
Yeah,
said
she said 6. Well, she
She
said
said-
you don't need 6.
Yeah.
1,
I thought that
2,
was just some like
3,
impossibly high number.
6.
Well, who
I
would?
thought she meant we had 6 souls with us.
Yeah, but who would have 2?
Mirabelle is sort of high. She side-eyes Sebastian, who's been very quiet.
2 souls?
Well, if it was Caliph, it would be, some in her cage or whatever.
That
Oh.
quote from the movie 7 is just in my head. What's in the box?
Oh, okay.
Can I roll something to see if I've ever heard of anything like that? Someone with 2 souls?
Sure. You can roll an Arcana check.
18.
You have not heard someone describe that specifically, but you would think a possession would be that. Mm, you guys are talking about what's in the box, but you do know that Glasya kind of made it sound like you can't see through this box.
Oh, but maybe The
So maybe
night
the Night Hag can or knows something, but you're not sure how.
Wait, do we still have that piece of Lazar? Like the seed or the...
You
Fragment?
do.
Actually, while we're
Give
here,
that to her.
it seems I'm not sure that it would help, and I'm fully ready for this to completely fail. But Artemisia, she's like fussing with the necklace that Clement gave her.
Mhm.
And I think she's gonna cast legend lore on the black casket thing,
Okay.
without quite realizing what she's doing.
Oh, I like it.
Um,
Okay. So tell me what legend lore says, so I
Yeah, I'm
know what I
just-
can give you.
Looking up the exact. Come on. There we go. Spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore. Might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. The more
Okay.
information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is.
So you don't know what's in this box. So you're not going to get information like that. But you are sort of considering your time with Glasya. You definitely don't get the impression that this is someone who deals in trifles. And while the idea of it being a stink bomb is perhaps on some level really appealing to you, like maybe deep down Artemisia, some id in you is like, that would be great. But you think it's something probably bigger than that. And the fact that it's sealed inside a box that seems to be keeping in whatever it is, it's probably a pretty big thing.
Interesting. Okay.
So she'll share that with everybody as it sort of comes to her.
And while these are doing that, Sturge is going to do a ritual identify on the potion just so he can be sure he knows what it does.
Okay. So the potion that she gave you, it is it seems to be different than the spells you know. It seems to let you bleed into stone, much like meld into stone, but more like you have seen Ruan turn into an earth elemental and move through stone, and this will let you do that as well.
Ooh.
So you will be able to travel through the walls of the palace if you need to. However, Glasya did mention this works on stone and not on glass, and a lot of the palace is mirrored.
That's
So
right.
you will have to be clever
Down.
about it.
Probably,
down.
yeah. I would go down, and then through the bedrock even. Interesting. Okay.
So it would be extra good if we could keep it to get out of there, because then we could just like down, maybe get
Yeah.
out through the sewers.
Right.
Get in through them or not.
Right. Yeah, I'm a real big fan of the sewer idea.
Yeah, because if we go in, we'll clear it out for the way out.
Or the back door.
And the back door is putting us on the edge of the palace, and then we've got to go through all the hallways of the palace to get deep. And
Yeah,
that's
but I mean, Cecilia's not here, but I feel like I could at least try to like sort of spin a good story about why we're here, making deliveries. She said it's for deliveries. We got a thing. We got a box.
I just don't see it.
Okay, so just for the shits and giggles, Artemisia is gonna like look Sturge right in the eyes, and she's gonna be like, "I have this delivery," and she's pointing to the box, and it's got to go to the center of the palace, and if you don't let us by, heads are going to roll, and you know where they're going to roll. It's going to be somewhere very unpleasant, and then they're going to pick them back up again, and they're going to roll them right back in there again, and you don't want it to be your head. And so then she's going to do a intimidate probably roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So 17 plus Should have done it on the computer, then don't have to do math. That is a 23.
Ooh.
Weirdly intimidating.
And how do I like what do you call it?
What's your counter check?
Yeah, what's my counter check?
I don't feel like you need a counter check here exactly. You can agree that Artemisia is intimidating.
Yeah.
And
I
also feel like this is not the right call.
Right. So what Sturge will say is, wow, you're much better at that than I thought you'd be. But here's the thing. You get some peon guard scared, and he goes and calls his boss, and now you've got to do the same thing to the boss. And we have to do this every step of the way into the castle. And it's just, it's a very tall order. But if we're in the basement, we just have to sneak and fight, and whatever's in the basement, it's not connected to.
One point though, if we do fight and we get fought too hard, then our disguises will drop, right?
If we get fire on them.
Yeah.
Specifically
maybe,
of fire.
Like
Oh, well,
something
what are the
that
chances of
hurts
fire down
plants.
here? I mean,
Oh, something that might hurt plants. I see.
I mean,
Ah.
it sounded like they sort of grow back a little bit, but I don't know. Everything here is really weird.
Okay.
But
So
the
it sounds
fire
like-
seems like a definite problem.
Yeah, so it sounds like combat is not completely out. All right.
yeah. I'm not against combat. I just want to get as deep as we can before anyone upstairs notices. And I just don't see anything. It's just going to be fighting and bluffing at one thing after another, and the place is full of demons.
Okay. I mean, the other choice is that we make one of us super attractive and then we get invited to the palace, right? Like what the night hag was suggesting. We make one of us like super desirable. But I feel like that has its own perils.
I don't like that idea.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, not it. Oh, Artemisia, all right.
I mean, Sebastian didn't do it. I'm just going to say.
Oh, Sebastian. We left Sebastian behind.
Well, actually, as a confidential aside from Rhiannon, if you want to cut this argument short, just point out like the possibilities of like chain lightning in the sewers,
Is that-
and just like letting loose. That's Artemisia's main spell that she likes.
Right. Well, why don't we walk around the place first? Maybe we'll see that entrance, and we'll get some more ideas, and we'll see more windows up above and get some more ideas, and we'll see whether there's any air traffic. I mean, are there imps, not imps down here? Are there flying things, taking messages back and forth? Is anyone even paying attention to what's up in the air? I don't know. And then we'll see possibly where the sewers are, enter, exit also. And then we can figure it out a little bit better.
Is the Pegasus summoned?
So you summon the Pegasus. The Pegasus appears. It looks around, and remind me how the Pegasus communicates with you.
Telepathically.
Okay. You hear, "You effing idiot." And then you hear the scrabbling of claws. And you think maybe it wasn't demon, like maybe it was like Demodant or something.
Wait, what?
Wait a
Not
minute,
anymore.
guys.
So you theoretically can banish your Pegasus, or you can wait a second and I will figure out what you're gonna fight.
No.
Do we get a chance to see it? Like, does it still look like a Pegasus, or does it look like I'm super curious. Yang
looks-
Yang is super curious.
I will say it. This is really interesting because I honestly just went off of what you rolled. It looks
like it looks. You see its image does sort of shudder as though the abyss is like pulling on it. Something is fundamentally not okay about this Pegasus where the abyss is concerned. And you see it has a shape sort of like a horse, but it is sort of bloated, and it's got these sort of rolls to it. It's got this skin that is grayish green and kind of wrinkly, like when you crumple paper up a bunch and flatten it back out. It has that kind of texture. It's got wings that are kind of bat-like, and its eyes are sort of missing from its face, which ends in this long, toothy, prognostic jaw.
What the hell is that?
Raglor, you look cool.
Send me back!
Okay.
And then he dismisses him.
What the hell was that?
Well, I guess I misremembered. Wasn't a demon.
Well,
So
what was he? What was that?
the clattering sound, a pair of creatures appears. They are sort of black and skeletal with like this tight muscles pulled taut over their body. They're dripping this kind of sticky acid off of them. They have one sharp horn and they look. Is there an infiltration?
No infiltration here. Did the rest of you see an infiltration? Oh, maybe they went into the palace, and we can help you.
You are tourists.
Correct.
Is that a crime here?
Enjoy your stay in Zelatar. Sample its many profane pleasures. Don't forget to visit the chapel. Purchase many souvenirs. And they clack away down the road.
What lovely ambassadors.
Sorry, guys. It was,
Wow.
So if I summon Mitzi, will that happen too?
Make an
That
Arcana
Artemisia
check.
is asking.
So Artemisia asked that out loud. Anybody can make an Arcana check who wants to answer that question.
I'm
Okay.
curious about these things.
22.
So you know enough to know that that demons are very chaotic, kind of evil, and that there is a certain repulsion toward things that are different kinds of evil, in particular devils, and that you get the impression that perhaps the issue is that the in-between. However, if something is really purely lawful or good, that's not going to go a lot better. So the question is, do you know what Mitzi's alignment is?
I mean, chaotic something, one presume.
Right.
Artemisia is not sort of intellectually curious enough to put Mitzi in danger, and is not going to summon her to find out.
Probably Mitzi will appreciate it.
I do need to know what will a 23 Arcana tell me about Blink? Does
Is that your owl?
no Blink is
The spell Blink.
yeah, where you go ethereal.
It should work
All right.
here. The way that you understand it, the ethereal plane is sort of a different beast, and so that it should sort of intersect in ways that make it functional. However, it's the same kind of thing. The Glabrezu could spot you, so you're not sure which demons have true sight, although you know Glabrezus do for sure.
Right.
And also, just as the bonus, that guy is here somewhere.
Crab claw.
Crab claws here somewhere.
What is that? Okay.
Did you I feel a little that I failed you and not reminding you of that when you were on the prime material and you could go back and get some butter.
Some lemons?
Here we are.
What is that? What is that big lobster place? The
Red Lobster?
Red Lobster.
Red Lobster. Yeah, we'll just call him Red Lobster.
Yeah. So somewhere here is Red Lobster. It's seething.
All right. Well, shall we do our circumambulation?
Walk around.
Okay, so the city is the palace is enormous, and you do discover first the front entrance, which is being guarded by what seems to be two enormous fiends, really big muscular guys with like whips, who also are very oiled up. You see they seem to be very groomed. Well, everybody that you know, there's lots of succubi and incubi, and they are extremely attractive. The entrance, there's there is a, like, it's right there, but nobody is going in. In fact, make me an insight check.
25.
17.
Sturge, with a 25, nobody has looked at the palace. As you're walking around, nobody is looking at the palace. It's almost like they're avoiding it.
Notice no one even looks at the palace.
Ooh, and we're looking so they can easily tell we're tourists and not natives.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well,
Hmm.
if that's the case, then Artemisia is gonna start looking at like some incubi, because I mean, obviously she's got to throw 'em off the fence. So she
It's
has to
for
be
the
real
cause.
Exactly.
Good disguise, Artemisia. Way to blend in.
Give me another insight check. Or perception. Give me a perception check.
She is
Ooh, I'm rolling
really
low
looking at
tonight.
those
15.
incubi. That's a 7.
15.
She's got like
Sturge,
real nice ass.
this is not a yeah. Sturge, you catch Maribel also checking out the succubi. Like kind of way. You're the only one that spots her. She's
Yeah.
trying very hard not to get caught.
Hmm.
Okay, so you do find that front entrance. You also find a sort of a pipe coming out with a grate in front of it, a sewer. What is flowing out of it is indescribably disgusting, but it does seem to be mostly blood. It flows into around this side of the city. You can see it flows into what seems to be a river of salt. And this seems like it's the source of that sharpness in the air. You also find the back entrance, which is similarly guarded, although this is guarded by a pair of Meriliths.
Ooh.
Oh.
There's
14
Make
swords.
me a perception check.
Oh no!
Oh,
Does
God.
one of them recognize
Oh,
us?
dirty 20. Wait. Yeah, dirty 20.
Stong,
24.
you spot your Merilith friend looking very angry still before she
So-
sees you.
Stong like ducks. His like face is hidden by the cowl. He's gonna duck it even further. He's gonna believe in his disguise.
Damn.
So,
Okay, those are not.
you
Those-
do also see very high in the air, like maybe 4 stories up. The walls are just sheer, gleaming silver white on these towers, and the windows are very high up, and you see winged women flying across and landing in the sort of balconies there, and winged men. You see the succubi and the incubi, basically entering the palace through those windows. So those are the entry points that you can find.
And where is the sewer entrance with respect to like the rest of the city and the other entrances?
So it is far away from the other entrances. No one wants to smell this. And it is sort of down past, it's not the nice part of the city. You do have to walk a long way around. And actually you feel like you've kind of dropped down. Things change here. It's sort of grayer and there's a thick fog rolling through.
Weird.
Mirabelle's kind of pulling up her sleeve because it does not smell nice. It
How
has
big-
that rotten smell and that cheap perfume smell.
And how big is the opening that's through which all this blood is going?
It is probably a little, you might have to stoop a little bit, but it's big enough you can kind of walk through it. There's a
And-
grate in front, but the grate is rusted. and
Yeah.
Pretty fragile.
Okay. Uncomfortable, but
If there's a blind and a deafness, there are like non-smells.
Mia.
um. All right.
Sometimes if we have to go down a really gross part of the sewers, we just sort of stick cloth up our nose. But I don't actually know where to find a cloth now. And I don't think I want to stick anything here up my nose.
I have scarves that we can make masks out of,
Or
you
you
know.
you find something that's very otherwise pungent and you stick it on your upper lip, so you're smelling that instead.
Oh.
Whoa, I still have this pirate flag, but I can't remember where I got it from.
Hmm.
Well,
I think we go in.
Yeah, I guess we
Which
do.
one, the sewer?
The sewer.
The sewer, yes.
Okay.
sorry,
I hope
Mia.
you appreciate this, Cecilia. Well,
Now,
it's not just for you; it's for everybody. But
Celia, I mean, Artemisia, would you like to wear my plague doctor mask with the rosemary in the nose?
does it help?
Oh, yes.
I feel like this is a fashion thing she can't get behind.
I don't know,
So-
man. I feel like your Red Sonja in Mad Max outfit plus a plague
true.
doctor mask is like cherry on the top. However, I don't disagree. It's not Artemisia's look. So I can understand if she's like, that is the line I cannot cross.
I mean, no.
But
that's
also,
an
I
excellent
want
point.
some. I would love to see some fan art of that look. I'm just going to say that right now.
All right. Well, I guess I'll have to put my plague doctor mask on. Oh,
So
it's
just to paint the picture, you are covered in ropey scars, absolutely nude otherwise, and you're wearing a plague doctor mask.
I mean, yes, he's also got
It's
a
a lot of
belt.
look.
A belt,
And a
with,
belt.
you know, that's all he's got is a belt.
What's your shoe situation right now? Are they disguised under the plants, or do you also have some shoes on top?
Oh, they'd have to be disguised. I
Okay.
mean, they're magical.
They're disguised. I mean, like anything
Yeah.
that you
Okay.
put on top
Yeah.
is like, so sword belts and things would have been wise to take off before you ate these melons, and we'll just assume that you did that.
Okay.
But yeah, your armor is still on you, it still counts, but you have this disguise layer on top, which is not an illusion.
Right. And the boots though, I would want them to function. So
They function.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Good.
If there's something where it's like they have to touch the ground, then we'll just say the plants leave the soles free, which
Gotcha.
I think is fine, and it would be hard to walk on them anyway. Except for Mirabelle, who is still at least 4 inches taller than normal. Which at least I don't have to walk in this. So,
All right.
how are you going to get through the gate?
Gate.
There's a gate. There's like a rusted gate in the
Don't-
way.
Can you just like grab it out?
I could certainly try. keep a lookout for me, will you?
All right. You two make me perception checks.
And we're down in the. Hopefully, it's nice and foggy where we are.
Yeah.
26.
7.
Okay. You are looking around. You do hear some people passing by, but you hear them in time to go, and they don't notice you.
All right,
And
so
Stong, you're gonna give me a strength check.
Wait. 15.
Okay, it is rusted. You pull on it, and, maybe you're like, do I really want to do this? But it is rotten enough that even a 15 yanks it right out like it was a tulip plucked from the damp ground. And you have
Okay.
access to the sewers of the Argent Palace.
I think we go in and we pull the grate behind us, like it closing a door.
Yes.
Who would like to go first? I will.
And is Stone
Right.
still carrying the box?
Yes. But if you want the box, you can certainly hold it.
Is it literally light enough that Artemisia can hold it?
Artemisia, you go to pick it up and you think that you're just going to demonstrate for Stong. This is not liftable. That
Oh.
kind of thing where you're like, see, look, and you're like, "Poof!" You can carry it fine. It's a little unwieldy. Like, it's a bit long, but, it feels kind of good carrying it, actually.
All right. Well, are we ready?
Okay.
It's more like this. Are we ready?
I guess so. Mirabelle's gonna hold that sword that you gave her. Just be ready.
All right.
Remember, Mirabelle, whatever happens, I'll protect you.
So Sturge is going to creep ahead.
Mhm.
He's got these elfish boots on, so he's got advantage in stealth. And he's just going to be perceiving.
Yeah.
Just
Give me
watching.
survival or
Okay.
investigation.
I just realized too.
Mhm.
Light.
Oh yeah, it's real dark down here.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember.
Did you get? Oh wait, I'm thinking of my kids' game.
Yeah, I'm thinking
One of
of
them
other
bought-
games too.
One of them
I'm tr-
bought like dark vision sunglasses, basically.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Because you usually use tiny, but I don't know that you want to
Oh,
have your owl in here. Do you want to try your owl? I mean,
Yeah,
is it a good owl?
I need to be able to see.
Well, because, we could
What
do some kind of light
Is your
cantrip.
owl
A face
Is it-
spirit.
a fey spirit? Okay.
Yeah. And just neutral. She doesn't have any.
She should be okay.
Okay, so I perch her on the end of the mask
Mhm.
and close my eyes, look through her eyes, and
I love
begin
this
to-
workaround. It's got a lot of style.
Mhm.
All right. Make me either survival or investigation.
Okay. Let me see. Not survival. No. 21.
Okay.
God, I'm rolling
So-
great today.
The sewers of the Argent Palace are Byzantine, labyrinthine. There are so many turns, but you're paying attention to the way that the blood is flowing, and always moving toward where it's a little faster, with the idea that this is where things are happening, and always uphill. And you rolled your stealth, yeah?
No. Here's
No.
stealth.
I mean, mostly this is to show off, right?
Yeah.
23 stealth.
28. 'cause
28.
advantage.
That's right. Okay.
Okay. Let me roll for what this thing is. Okay. I love that you were godlike in your stealth, because you are kind of creeping along and you come up to a passageway that's bigger than the others. But you, between that investigation and that stealth, you hear movement in there before you blunder into it. This is definitely, there's a stronger flow coming. The pipes in the other direction are getting sort of narrower. You don't know where those are going. You feel like this is where you ought to head, but there is definitely something inside there.
In the big,
In the big
bigger
way, yeah.
Okay, but I can't see. Like,
It is
like
sort of
just-
in and around a corner, so you could creep up, and look again.
I'll telepathically let everyone know something. Is it something big or just something?
This time I want you to make me a perception check.
Okay. 18.
Okay. It does sound like it's big. It actually sounds like maybe there's multiple things in there, but there is definitely something big.
Ooh.
You hear
Alright.
kind of a clanking of chains.
Oh, this is Artemisia's. Okay, I'm going to telepathically say to everyone, multiple large creatures ahead in a larger tunnel. I hear the clanking of chains. It could be just right for a chain lightning, but I don't know. It's definitely not right for Mr. Whippy. I think that's a bad fit. So Sturge is going to creep back. Oh, there's really no getting by each other in this
Mm-mm.
tunnel, is there?
Not really. You can kind of shuffle around,
Okay.
but I feel like at that point, everybody needs to make a stealth check, and it's a group thing.
It'd be bad to be stuck in here together. Okay, I'm going to see if I can sneak out. I'm going to tell everyone I'm going to try to sneak out and just hide in this other space out there so that we're all not crammed in the same spot.
So are you trying to sneak into where they're getting, the pipes are getting narrower, or are you trying to sneak into where you're hearing something?
So I'm imagining straight ahead is sort of an intersection, and to the left they all go narrow, and to the right there's a bigger opening where there's a lot of. If there's somewhere for me to hide to the left,
You can kind of move into the left a little, yeah.
that's what I'd like to do, and just sort of get around a corner or something so others
Okay.
can get closer.
Okay. So Sturge has tucked himself off to the side in a direction that clearly feels like it's flowing more downhill, away from where you want to go, and has indicated, obviously, there's something in the other direction. What do you want to do?
Well, put down the box, first of all.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess we shouldn't just sort of put it in random blood. Hand it to Sturge. How about that?
Not in the room anymore.
Well, we're
So
going
like
to
as you're
have to, aren't
passing,
we?
she's like,
Yeah.
It is light. It is exactly, it feels like it feels good holding it.
Wait, I never passed. I just went out.
I think you and I are picturing this differently, and I'm apologizing right now for not having time to make the map. But if it's sort of like a T, like you're
Mhm.
describing, and I'm fine with that, and
Yeah.
you went a little to the right, enough to here, and then you back to the left. Artemisia is sort of behind you, and she has passed you the case as you
Oh.
go, because you're like, go ahead.
Okay. And is there space for me to hide it?
You
me?
are basically there's the goop on the ground, the mostly coagulating blood, also possibly some
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
nice.
remember if we can say shit, but
Demon poo.
yeah, duty, and other things that you don't really have a name for, and you don't want one.
Mhm.
It's gross around your feet.
All
you
I'm asking is, can I hide with this thing?
Yeah, I mean, if you duck into the shadows again, it absorbs the light.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
is a
okay.
shadow, so
Good.
you're fine.
Perfect.
But that's really the only place you've got to kind of hide here, unless you're gonna go like Frogman and like sink down in the sewage.
Yeah.
It's on the table, I'm just saying. All right. So, Sturge has yielded the floor. What are you guys gonna do?
I mean, Artemisia thinks that she needs to like step up and like just bust out with a spell. So
Okay.
that's what she's gonna do.
Okay. Are you just gonna march in there, or are you gonna like kind of creep and peek?
I mean, she's gonna peek, and I suspect that her roll will not be that good, but she will make the attempt.
Okay.
It's always roll so slow. Here. Yeah, you know.
Are you rolling
great.
stealth or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So 15. All right. So you creep up the path and you peek around the corner, and as you look into that room, you hear the clanking of chains. Something enormous shifts. There are these comparatively tiny creatures around it that look like kind of bloated, twisted corpses. They don't seem to notice you. They're sort of picking through something on this island. But this is what turns and looks at you. Did it show? Yeah, it showed.
Oh, jeez.
Before you can cast your spell, it goes. Welcome to my laboratory.
What?
And I think before we get into anything, that's probably a good place to stop.
What the hell is that?
You haven't seen it, so.
Oh my god.
This is what
Oh.
we call the Juicy Boy on Champions of Lore.
Oh, really? Oh my god. That is
So
toxic.
It is like a Subway meatball.
it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So I've been your
God.
DM, Aaron M. Evans. You can find me on Twitter at Aaron M. Evans. You can join me on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. on twitch.tv/CNE Games for Champions of Lore, where we talk about the Juicy Boy and other interesting bits of lore behind the game of our sponsor, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Check them out at idlechampions.com. Also, you can pre-order my upcoming book, Empire of Exiles, wherever you like to purchase your books. It is available November 8th. Thank you very much.
I've been Rhiannon Held. You can check out my latest space opera novella under RZ Held. It's called Pure Motives. And you can also check out our website. It's got books and links to them from all of us. And it's got recaps. It's got all kinds of bonus content, cool stuff, as well as our Discord. And that has any additional place to enter for the giveaways and all kinds of cool stuff.
Hey, I'm Ying Wang. So once again, we're still fundraising for 2 different causes this week. One of them is for the International Rescue Committee to help relieve Ukrainian refugees, of which there are about 8 million so far who are being displaced by the war between Ukraine and Russia. These people need like shelter, they need food, they need medical attention, they need all sorts of things because of this terrible conflict. If you wish to help them, type in !charity. Otherwise, we are raising money for the National Network of Abortion Funds. So we're trying to help support choice and our rights in the US. So if you want to help support that, !donate. We'll give you a link. Thank you.
I'm Stephen Merlino, and it is time for our giveaways. Let's hit the first one here, which is your choice of dice and dice tray from Phoenix Dice. And the winner is Give me a second. Just give me a second. There we go.
I can't
Picking a
drum on my
winner.
mic as well.
Penday.
Hey,
Kendi.
congratulations!
Hey, congratulations.
If you would be so kind, Kendi, to go on the the Twitch message thing and send me your email address there, then I can get that to Phoenix Dice. Congratulations. And next we have pick a winner. Boom. Xenobite. Xenobite, you just won
Congratulations!
Congratulations.
2 books.
The books.
Same thing. If you could go to the Twitch messaging thing and send me your email address. Also, if you would like the author to sign the books, let me know one way or the other. They don't have to sign them. That's your choice. So your email address and your choice of whether or not you want it autographed. And of course, if you want to say something special, if you want them to write something special, a
Inscribe.
special message or something, a love note, let me know what that is too. All right. Exciting.
Yep.
Can't wait to get some Juicy Boy next week.
2 weeks, I think. In
Well,
2 weeks,
actually,
right?
yeah,
2
next week we are back with Team Witch Hut, as we're calling it. And I will go ahead and say we have a very special guest. B. Dave Walters will be joining us, and it sounds like he will be playing the Scarus Amicyle. So I'm very excited. I hope
Very
you,
cool.
I hope you guys. I hope it's. I'm so excited. My friend is coming to play with us, guys.
That's awesome. Hey, I see a little note there from Xenobite? No, Kendi. Where if you go up to the top of the Twitch bar, just where the search thing is, and you go over to the right, there's some little icons there, and there's a little chat bubble. Click on that. That's where you make the. That's how you say it. That's how you do
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So until next time, what are we saying when we close it out, Brandon?
May your word count and your rolls both be high.
Yay!
Bye.
I like.